Introduction. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Perfect English, the place where we grow our minds and our language skills, one great book at a time. Today, we're exploring a modern classic that has transformed the lives of millions. Rather than relying on grand and dramatic goals, it shows how small, consistent actions can lead to extraordinary change. The book is Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. This book is all about how to build good habits, break bad ones, and make those changes stick. It's not just about motivation or willpower. It's about creating a system that works quietly in the background of your life. Think about this. If you get just 1% better every day, where could you be in a year? That's the magic of atomic habits. Small changes, repeated consistently, grow over time and create a powerful impact. In this video, we'll walk you through the core ideas of the book, step by step. You'll learn about the 4 laws of behavior change, how to design a better life, and yes, how you can use these ideas to build your English learning habit too. So grab a pen, a notebook, or just settle in. Let's explore how tiny changes can lead to remarkable results. Ready? Let's dive into atomic habits. The power of atomic habits. Let's start with a simple question. What exactly is an atomic habit? The word atomic might remind you of science class, tiny atoms that make up everything around us. And that's the idea. An atomic habit is a small, simple action you repeat consistently. But here's the magic. Over time, these tiny actions grow into something extraordinary. James Clear puts it perfectly. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Think about how money grows when you invest it regularly. Your habits work the same way. Small actions, repeated daily, create massive results. The secret lies in what Clear calls the 1% rule. Imagine improving by just 1% each day. It sounds like almost nothing. But here's the math. If you get 1% better every day for a year, you will become 37 times better by the end. That's the power of compounding, not just for money, but for your actions, skills, and identity. Still not sure how that works? Let's take 2 simple examples. If you write 1 paragraph a day, you'll finish a book in a year. Or if you learn just 3 English words a day, you'll master over 1,000 words in a year. It's not about putting in huge effort all at once. What truly matters is consistency. But here's where many people get stuck. We focus too much on the goal. Like, I want to lose 10 kilos or I want to speak fluent English. Goals give us direction, but they don't show us how to get there. What really drives progress are the systems we follow every day. Here's the key idea. You don't succeed just because you set a goal. You succeed because you build the habits that support it. Want to learn a new language? That's a great goal. But it's your system, how often you practice, what you focus on, and how you make it part of your routine, that will actually determine your progress. This leads us to one of the most powerful ideas in the book: identity-based habits. The idea that true change comes from focusing not just on what you want to achieve, but on who you want to become. Instead of asking, "What do I want to achieve?" ask, "Who do I want to become?" Don't just say, "I want to learn English." Say, "I'm becoming an English speaker." Every small action you take is like casting a vote for the person you want to be. Write one sentence. That's a vote for being a writer. Study for 5 minutes. That's a vote for being a dedicated learner. You don't need a huge transformation overnight. You just need to keep casting those small votes, day after day, until your new identity feels natural. This approach takes away the pressure to be perfect. It shifts the focus to steady, daily progress, which is where real change happens. Now that we understand why atomic habits are so powerful, let's explore how to build them. James Clear gives us a brilliant framework called the 4 laws of behavior change. Let's examine each one carefully. The 4 laws. Overview. Alright, now that we understand why small habits matter so much, let's talk about how to actually build them. James Clear gives us a clear, step-by-step method called the 4 laws of behavior change. These 4 laws are based on how habits work in the brain, and if we understand this process, we can design better habits for ourselves. So first, let's take a quick look at what's happening inside every habit. According to the book, every habit, whether good or bad, follows the same 4-step pattern. 1. Cue, something that triggers the behavior. 2. Craving, the desire or motivation to act. 3. Response, the action or habit itself. 4. Reward, the benefit you get, which makes you want to do it again. This is called the habit loop. It happens again and again, often without us even noticing. For example, you hear a notification sound, cue. You feel curious or excited, craving. You check your phone, response. You see a message from a friend and feel good, reward. That loop makes the habit stronger. Each time. James Clear turns this understanding into 4 simple rules. The 4 laws that we can use to build good habits or break bad ones. Here they are. The 4 laws of behavior change. 1. Make it obvious. Design clear cues and triggers. 2. Make it attractive. Link it with something you want. 3. Make it easy. Reduce friction and start small. 4. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself and track progress. If you want to build a good habit, follow all 4 steps in the positive direction. If you want to break a bad habit, reverse them. Make it invisible. Make it unattractive. Make it difficult. Make it unsatisfying. This system works because it's simple and practical. You don't need to rely on motivation. You just change the environment around you and let the new habit take root naturally. In the next part, we'll take a closer look at Law 1. Make it obvious and explore how to design better cues to trigger the habits you want in life. Law 1. Make it obvious. Let's begin with the first law of behavior change. Make it obvious. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to change their habits is they're just not aware of them. We think we're making conscious choices, but often we're just following old routines on autopilot. James Clear says that the first step to changing a habit is to become aware of it. That means making the cues, the things that trigger your habits, clear and visible. So how do we do that? Step 1. The habit scorecard. Write down your daily habits as they are, no judgment. Just list what you do from the moment you wake up. For example, wake up, check phone, brush teeth, drink coffee, scroll social media. Then, beside each habit, you mark it as positive, negative, or neutral based on whether it helps or harms the person you want to become. This is a great way to spot the habits that are shaping your identity, even the ones you didn't realize you had. Step 2. Habit stacking. Now, here's a really useful technique, habit stacking. This means linking a new habit to something you already do. You use this formula. After I do something I already do every day, I will do the new habit I want to build. For example, after I make my morning tea, I will read one page of an English book. After I close my laptop at work, I will spend 5 minutes reviewing vocabulary. This works because you're attaching the new habit to something your brain already recognizes. Step 3. Design your environment. Environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. If you want to make a habit obvious, put visual cues in your environment. Want to eat more fruit? Put it on the table, not in the fridge. Want to learn English daily? Set your learning app as the first thing you see on your phone's home screen. The goal here is simple. Don't rely on memory. Design your space to remind you. When your environment supports you instead of holding you back, good habits become much easier to build. Next, we'll explore Law 2. Make it attractive, because even the clearest habit won't stick if it doesn't feel good. Law 2. Make it attractive. Now that you've made your habit obvious, the next step is to make it attractive. Why? Because we're more likely to repeat behaviors that we enjoy. Habits are not just about what we do, they're also about how we feel before we do them. If something feels exciting, rewarding, or fun, we want to do it again. If it feels boring or difficult, we avoid it. This brings us to the second law of behavior change. Make it attractive. So how can we do that? 1. Use temptation bundling. Temptation bundling means linking a habit you need to do with something you want to do. Here's the formula. After I do the thing I need to do, I'll do the thing I want to do. For examples, after I practice English for 15 minutes, I will watch my favorite YouTuber. After I go for a run, I'll listen to a podcast I love. This makes the habit feel more enjoyable, because it's now connected to a reward you already like. 2. Join a culture where your desired habit is normal. One of the deepest human desires is to belong. We naturally imitate the habits of people around us, especially those we spend time with, admire, or look up to. So if you want to build a reading habit, hang out with readers. If you want to learn English, follow creators and communities who speak it daily. When you surround yourself with people who already practice the habits you want to build, those behaviors start to feel more natural and appealing. 3. Reframe your thinking. Sometimes, the key to building better habits is changing the way we think about them. Instead of saying, I have to do this, try saying, I get to do this. For example, rather than thinking, I have to practice English, you might say, I get to learn a new language that opens up new opportunities and connects me with the world. This small shift makes the habit feel like an opportunity, not a chore. So remember, make your habit look good, feel good, and sound good. Because if you're looking forward to it, you're much more likely to stick with it. Next, we'll look at the third law, make it easy, and why success doesn't depend on motivation, but on simplicity. Law 3, make it easy. So far, we've looked at how to make habits obvious and how to make them attractive. Now we come to one of the most important and also one of the most surprising lessons in the book. Make it easy. Many people believe that success depends on motivation. They think, if I just try harder, I'll make it happen. But the truth is, motivation isn't reliable. It can be strong one day and disappear the next. What truly makes a difference is making the habit so simple and easy that you can't help but follow through. In the end, we don't succeed because of how ambitious we are. We succeed because of how well we prepare. Here's how to make habits easier, so they fit naturally into your life. 1. The 2-minute rule. One simple rule is to keep any new habit so short and easy that it takes less than 2 minutes to complete. Why? Because the hardest part is starting. Once you begin, momentum builds. Instead of saying, I'll study English for an hour, say, I'll open my English app and review one word. That's it. 2 minutes. Just show up. Over time, this simple habit grows into a routine. It's much better to do a little bit every day than to wait for the perfect moment that never comes. 2. Reduce friction. Remove anything that makes your habit harder. Make it easy to start. Want to go to the gym? Pack your bag the night before. Want to read more? Keep your book on your pillow. If a habit is easy to do, you'll do it more often. 3. Don't aim for perfect, aim for consistent. When it comes to building habits, perfection isn't the goal. What really matters is showing up again and again. There's a simple principle to keep in mind. Standardize before you optimize. In other words, don't worry about doing it perfectly at the beginning. Just focus on doing it regularly. You don't need to speak perfect English. You just need to practice today. When a habit is easy to start and you repeat it often, it becomes automatic. And once it becomes automatic, it becomes part of your life. That's when real change starts to stick. Coming up next, let's explore how to make your habits satisfying, so your brain feels good and wants to repeat them again and again. Law 4. Make it satisfying. We've made the habit obvious, attractive, and easy. Now comes the final step, and it's a big one. Make it satisfying. Why is this so important? Because we are wired to repeat things that feel good. If something gives us a reward, we want to do it again. But if a habit doesn't give us any feeling at all, no joy, no progress, no sense of reward, we tend to forget about it and let it fade away. There's a simple principle to remember. What is rewarded gets repeated. What is unpleasant gets avoided. That's why the key is to make your habit feel satisfying right after you do it. And here are a few simple ways to make that happen. 1. Use immediate rewards. Many of the best habits, like saving money or learning a language, don't give instant results. Progress is slow and invisible at first. That's why it helps to give yourself a small reward immediately after completing the habit. For example, after studying English for 15 minutes, Mark it off on a calendar and enjoy a piece of chocolate. After finishing a workout, listen to your favorite song. The habit itself builds long-term value, but the reward gives you instant joy, so your brain learns, that felt good. Let's do it again. 2. Track your habits. Let me tell you about one of the most powerful tools for building habits, the habit tracker. There's something deeply satisfying about seeing your progress laid out in front of you. Each time you complete your habit, make a simple mark, whether it's on paper, in an app, or on a calendar. As the days go by, you'll start to see a streak. That visual cue becomes a quiet push that keeps you going. There's real psychology behind this. When you track your habits, 3 things happen. 1. You get a little boost of dopamine every time you check it off. 2. You create visible proof of your new identity. I'm someone who does this every day. 3. And you build a kind of mental armor. I've done this for 7 days. I don't want to break the chain. Even something as simple as moving a paper clip from one jar to another, each time you finish your task, can make a big difference. And here's the best part. After a week or 2, something shifts. You stop asking yourself, do I feel like doing this today? Instead, you think, of course I'm doing this. I'm not breaking the streak. That's when you know the habit is starting to stick. That's when it becomes part of who you are. 3. Celebrate small wins. Never underestimate the power of a small celebration. Even saying yes, I did it, can make a difference. When you finish your habit, smile. Say something encouraging. Enjoy the feeling. This tells your brain, this is something worth repeating. So remember, to make a habit last, it must feel satisfying. Pleasure is the signal that tells your brain, let's do that again tomorrow. Up next, we'll flip the system and talk about how to break bad habits using everything we've just learned. Breaking bad habits. Now that we've looked at how to build good habits, let's take a moment to explore the other side. How do we break the bad ones? The good news is, the same 4 principles you use to build a habit can also be reversed to help you break one. Here's how it works. Reverse Law 1. Make it invisible. If a certain cue keeps triggering a bad habit, the best thing you can do is remove that cue entirely. There's a simple idea to remember: out of sight, out of mind. Here are a few examples. Trying to stop snacking? Keep snacks out of view and out of reach. Want to spend less time on your phone? Leave it in another room while you focus. Struggling with social media? Try logging out or deleting the app from your home screen. When the trigger disappears, the habit often fades with it. Without that cue, your brain has nothing to respond to. Reverse Law 2. Make it unattractive. Remind yourself why the habit is harmful. Change how you think about it. Instead of saying, I need to relax with Netflix, say spending 3 hours binge-watching is stopping me from sleeping well. The more negative you feel about the habit, the less power it has. Reverse Law 3. Make it difficult. Another effective way to break a bad habit is to make it harder to do. In other words, increase the friction. The more effort it takes, the less likely you are to follow through. Here are some simple ways to do that. If you want to spend less time online, log out of your accounts or uninstall the app. If you're trying to cut back on online shopping, remove your saved payment information. If you want to stop hitting the snooze button, place your alarm on the other side of the room. When a habit becomes inconvenient, you're much less likely to repeat it. Reverse Law 4. Make it unsatisfying. Now let's flip Law 4 on its head. Make bad habits unsatisfying. How? By adding immediate consequences. Try this: make a deal with a friend that if you skip English practice, you owe them $5. Or use apps that block distracting websites. Nothing makes mindless scrolling less satisfying than seeing that big blocked screen pop up. Another powerful strategy is accountability. Tell someone your goal and check in with them regularly. Knowing that someone else is watching can keep you on track. Remember, breaking a bad habit isn't about being perfect. It's about making the wrong choice just a little harder, and the right one a little easier. Coming up next, we'll bring everything together with a final summary and some big picture takeaways from what we've learned. Final summary and takeaways. Let's pull all these powerful ideas together. This isn't about drastic overhauls or white-knuckling your way through massive changes. It's about something much simpler and much more effective. The real secret? Tiny changes that stick. Smart systems that work for you. And most importantly, becoming the kind of person who naturally makes good choices because that's just who you are. Here's what really matters. 1. The magic of small wins. Every little action is like planting a seed. Water it daily, with just 1% better choices, and watch how something incredible grows over time. 5 minutes of English today becomes fluency tomorrow. 2. Your habits define you. Stop asking, what should I accomplish? Start asking, who do I want to be? Because every time you practice, even just a little, you're proving to yourself, I'm someone who learns English every day. 3. The 4 laws that change everything. To build great habits. Make them obvious. Make them attractive. Make them easy. Make them satisfying. To break bad ones? Just flip it. Make them invisible. Make them unappealing. Make them hard. Make them unrewarding. This works for everything: your health, your work, your relationships, and absolutely for mastering English. So here's your invitation. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start small today. Tie it to your routine. Celebrate your wins. Watch your progress. And remember, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So make today's vote count. Outro and viewer engagement. Thanks so much for watching today's video on atomic habits. If you've made it to the end, that already tells me something important. You're serious about improving, and you understand the power of small, steady steps. So here's your challenge. What's one tiny habit you'll start today to improve your English? It could be learning 3 new words, watching a short video in English, or writing a sentence every evening. Drop it in the comments below. Your idea could inspire someone else. And if you found this video valuable, be sure to subscribe for more book-based English learning strategies. Let me know what book you'd like us to explore next to help boost your language skills. And remember, Fluency isn't built in a day, but through daily atomic habits. Every small effort is a vote for the English speaker you're becoming. So keep casting those votes, and let your habits shape the future you're building. I'll see you in the next video.